Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Purgatory brought to you by Forced Strategy Gaming. Today we're going to be taking a look at Diablo 3 on consoles, the pictures that we received for the million Facebook like program on the Diablo page, Murkablo, and the Worldstone. There has been some buzzing around the rumor mill for quite some time now that Diablo 3 or some version of the game will be making it over to consoles, and we just received kind of a reconfirmation of that. In the jobs directory for Blizzard, there was a new posting for a senior software engineer console for PlayStation 3 specialist for Diablo 3. So what this specifically implies is that we're going to be looking to see some variation of Diablo 3, whether it be a direct port, which it's been said it won't likely be, or just some alternate variation of the game onto the PlayStation 3. Now, I know that there's a lot of kind of heated debate as to whether or not the Diablo 3 should or should not be on the consoles, and I guess you could just leave your thoughts and opinions below as to whether or not you agree with this move and the very strong likelihood that a variation of Diablo 3 will be coming to the PlayStation 3 and as such likely to the Xbox and possibly even Nintendo systems as well. After months of promoting and telling people to go check out the Diablo Facebook page, we have finally reached that 1 million like milestone that we've been waiting so eagerly for. Now, the way the program had worked, of course, is that it was every 25,000 likes, we received some additional artwork and some pieces of original artwork or screenshots from the game. And then at 1 million likes, we were supposed to get some special prize. Well, it turns out that that special prize was just kind of rehashed images that we had already seen, rehashed artwork, but in wallpaper form. Now, there's a kind of a big upheaval and an uproar about this. Lots of people were not too thrilled with the fact that they were using prior used artwork and just throwing banners on them and calling it wallpaper in higher resolution. As a response to this, Blizzard actually did go about releasing an additional piece of artwork, and it's an original interpretation of Tyrael by Richard Braum. I definitely think this is a really neat piece of artwork. Now, in terms of people's, basically the fact that they were upset with the wallpapers that we did receive, I think one big note to make is that for the million likes for both the StarCraft, Warcraft, and as well as the Blizzard pages, they all received wallpapers as well at that milestone. So it's not like we were straying too far from the norm, but people, I guess, more or less weren't aware of that fact, but hopefully now you are. Next up, we do have this year's BlizzCon pet. It is going to be Murkablo, the Diablo Murloc. Really neat for any of you WoW players. You're going to be able to have access to this in-game. It's going to be basically a Diablo-themed Murloc. Definitely really cool looking. As we can see here, this was taken by MMO Champion. Pretty sure they just data mined this information, but definitely pretty neat here if you do still play World of Warcraft, but hopefully we'll be all playing Diablo 3 by then, and that won't be as necessary. And then finally in this week's news, we're going to be heading on over to DiabloFans.com and an article that was written by Frozen Dragon. Now, Frozen Dragon was a guest member on last week's podcast, and if you haven't already heard that, then go ahead and check it out. It was definitely an interesting podcast, but what we're looking at specifically is some talk of the Worldstone. This is part of the Cosmology of Diablo series. This is the fourth part, and essentially Frozen Dragon goes in depth about the Worldstone, its history, its place within Sanctuary, and what it means to us in the future. Definitely an interesting read if lore is something that you are interested in. So that about does it for this episode of Purgatory, guys. That's pretty much everything that took place during that past week. Stay tuned next week for the next episode of Purgatory, and we will be continuously keeping you up to date on all Diablo 3 news. As always, guys, if you like the content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Keep watching and keep owning.